The fear and greed index is at 28. We're super down bad in the markets. Most people have left the market. Retail interest is at a net negative, but there's still hope for the crypto space. I do think things will turn around, and the people that are paying attention to the markets now will be rewarded. There is light at the end of the tunnel. And if this is your first time getting started in crypto, you only have $1,000 to invest, or you've been here for a while, you've completely wrecked your portfolio and want to restart, want to reignite your portfolio from the ashes like a phoenix, I have the perfect and safest way for you to invest in crypto, $1,000 in 2026. So the first step, if you're a beginner to the space, to start your portfolio off or to reignite it, and remember, this is a more safe portfolio, which I think a lot of people need for the time that we're in. The safest way to start is to have your core anchors, which is Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? You could also toss Solana in there as well, really depending on what your own research is on these projects. But clearly Bitcoin and Ethereum are here to stay. Those are the top two projects. You can't go wrong with Bitcoin and ETH, in my opinion, right? Obviously, you could also add Solana there, and that would be 40% of the portfolio for $400. Market stability and institutional ETF support. It's clear as day that, that institutions, Wall Street, etc., have, gone heavy in the crypto space. So projects like, the long-term king of the space, Bitcoin, is not going anywhere. It's just going to continue to grow, sitting at just under $68,000 right now. And you could potentially see $1 million per one Bitcoin in the future, right? How many people are so confident that eventually Bitcoin is going to be $1 million per Bitcoin? So, a lot of people are already, doing their best to hit their one Bitcoin goal, to be a whole coiner, right? And the same thing with Ethereum as well. As we can see, Ethereum didn't have that much of a great bull run this cycle, but again, Ethereum can't be counted out as the king of altcoins. In my opinion, it's the lead market mover. So when Ethereum does well for the market, I do think that the rest of the altcoin space will also do well. Ethereum sitting at $2,000 right now, so that's the core anchors for the portfolio. $200 in each. That's $400 to get you started there, to have the safe bet for that $400. The next sector you have to dive into is narrative plays, or projects that will grow and thrive based off macro events. AI, real world assets, deepen, you name it. Those are the projects that will continue to grow and thrive off what's happening in the world at large. We can see AI taking over, robotics, constant development and advancement of humankind with Claude, OpenAI, Anthropic, etc., right? Even Grok and Elon Musk, Grok AI, Gemini, etc. So AI, in my opinion, will be one of the best performing sectors. It was already one of the best from 2023 to even now. It's still one of the best performing sectors. And real world assets. Real world assets, as most of you know, is institutional investors, Wall Street, stock market, corporate enterprises, etc. That's where you're going to invest the next $400. And I picked out a few altcoins, not a few, but several altcoins that I think will be very beneficial for this sector. Emerging sectors like AI and tokenized stocks. So on the list, we have Hyperliquid, right? Hyperliquid is one of those projects. It has real world utility and is making a ton of revenue with Hyperliquid. Millions of revenue. As you can see from the chart, is a very strong chart, sitting at just under $10 billion in market cap at $38 per Hyperliquid right now. So a 5x move to 50 billion market cap, maybe even 70 billion market cap for Hyperliquid is very possible. I think that is not far-fetched. So that is the first altcoin we're taking a look at. Next project is Tau, BitTensor Tau. Another great project here at 3 billion market cap, $310 per Tau. I think this project has a 5x move in it as well, potentially a 10x move to 30 billion market cap. If not, maybe a 15x, 20x move. That is possible here. 30 billion market cap to 60 billion market cap for BitTensor Tau. I think that is very possible. Those are the first two, right? And again, it's up to you to do your own research and be like, okay, I have $400. How will I spread out my money to the narrative plays? Do I put $100 in each Do I put 200 here and then $100 here, $50, $50, etc., right? And that's how you should approach the sector or approach the space with your overall portfolio. So if you have even more than $1,000, you separate it in percentages, separate your portfolio in percentages, because remember, nothing in the space is guaranteed. So you have to be as strategic as possible, which I always preach on the channel. Next project we have is Chainlink. You know, Chainlink, guys, long-term project. It's one of the leading projects for real-world assets and AI as well. So it hits multiple different sectors, as you can see: DeFi, RWA, cross-chain, AI as well, as you can see, AI, privacy as well, artificial intelligence, right? So this is one of the leading RWA projects that is in the top 50, sitting at $6.3 billion in market cap, $10 per Chainlink right now, $8.80, rounded it off, you know. But potential move for a 10x, 5 to 10x for Chainlink, definitely on the cards. I could see a $62 billion, $63 billion Chainlink, no problem, right? I could see $1,000 per Chainlink. Well, not $1,000, $100 per Chainlink, I should say, right? I could definitely see that in the cards for Chainlink, guys. So that's another project on the list. And one of the projects that I think is very undervalued is Layer 0 here. Layer 0, I think, is very undervalued. Not much people, you know, are researching Layer 0 and what it's about. But if you take a look at the max chart here, if we could zoom in and show you guys here, I'll show you. It's sitting at $2 per Layer 0, sitting at a $506 million market cap, $2 billion fully diluted valuation. And if you could see from the chart here, from the bottom, it's all almost up around 2x from the lows, right? So it is growing and showing strength against the overall macro of the market. A lot of projects from the end of Q4, they continue to bleed against Bitcoin, meaning that they continue to go down against Bitcoin and just kept on making new lows. Layer 0 looks like it's made its low in December 30th, 2025. It made its low, and as you could see, let's zoom in here on closer time frames. Let's go to the 1 year. As you can see, after it made its low, it started to climb up again, and it's making new lows, or higher lows, I should say. It's making higher lows. So I think a lot of people are, not really paying attention to Layer 0, but I think it's one of the undervalued projects here. So, a 10x for Layer 0 to 5 billion market cap, very possible. Even more than that, right? 20x to 10 billion market cap, 30x for Layer 0. This is one of the more undervalued ones that has a lot more upside. So I think you should definitely do your research on Layer 0. I haven't really talked about it on the channel much. So if you just take a look at their website, they're building out infrastructure for scaling the banks, fintech, banking, DeFi, and beyond, right? Partners with Ondo as well, which is another massive RWA project, 200 billion plus historical volume across their project, and 700 plus companies that are powered by Layer 0, right? So I'm telling you, do your own research on this one. I think this is a sleeper play. Next project we have is Virtual's protocol, right? Another one I think is a great AI sleeper that a lot of people aren't talking about. Sitting at $434 million in market cap right now, sitting on just under 66 cents per virtual protocol here. And again, another 10x move possible here to 4 billion market cap, maybe 20 to 30x, if not more. 20x would put it at 10 billion market cap. Very possible, guys. But obviously, like I said, this is a safer portfolio if you just have $1,000. So a 5x to 10x move, extremely possible for Virtual Protocol. As you could see, made its low in February 11th, 2026, and it's just been holding this range and making higher lows. As you can see, higher low from February to March to even now, right? Going into April, we're seeing higher lows for Virtual Protocol. So again, the upside is definitely on the cards for this project. Next project we have on the list is FET. This is a top AI project from the last bull run, 2023 to 2024, and it's recently starting to show strength again. A lot of people aren't talking about it, so I'm bringing it to the channel here, guys. Sitting at $536 million in market cap. As you can see, from it made its low in March here at 14 cents. It made its low. And if you take a look at the overall chart, right, you know, it has a lot of upside. Fed could potentially make a new all-time high. It is possible, right? Like I said, the AI sector will be one of the best performing sectors for the rest of crypto's existence, in my opinion. AI projects will potentially 10x to 100x your portfolio, as long as you do your own research and find projects that are, you know, actually delivering some type of value in the space. And Fed is still delivering value. Nothing has changed about the project, which is why it's potentially finally found its bottom. And I know a lot of people are focused on Tau because Tau is the new kid on the block that a lot of people love. But Fed here could potentially be a 5x to 10x, you know, 5 billion, 10x, 10 billion, 20x, 30 billion, 20 billion to 30 billion for Fed, 10x, 30x. Again, very possible. But again, this is sitting at 23 cents right now. This is a safe 5x to 10x, I think, for Fed here. And as you can see, it's made its bottom or low here on March 7th at 14 cents. And now it's up 11% in the past 3 months at 23 cents, right? So it's starting to recover here, right? So that's why I'm bringing it to the channel for your $1,000 portfolio. Next one on the list right here we have is Monad, right? Monad, talking about the project a lot on the channel. If you take a look at all my videos that I made and how made on Monad and everything that they're building with Monad, you'd be impressed, right? This is one of the most scalable, if not the most scalable L1 we've seen in the space in ever. 10,000 transactions per second, EVM compatible. It's basically Ethereum Solana fused on steroids, energy drinks, Adderall. I say the same thing all the time, but it's true. Just do your own research, take a look at their website, look at what they're building, look at the stablecoin adoption that's happening on Monad. It's insane, and it's happening so fast for it. Look at their TVL growth as well, right? Hundreds of millions in TVL, hundreds of millions of dollars, right? So sitting at a 250 million circulating market cap. Obviously, the FDV and tokenomics, a lot of people are turned off by Monad's tokenomics, sitting at 2.3 billion FDV, sitting at a 2.3 cent price right now, 2-3 cent, you know. So if we're taking a look at the FDV, how much upside you could see for Monad, I think you could see 23 billion market cap, even 50 billion market cap for Monad. So that's a 10x to 20x. This is one of the more, in my opinion, undervalued on the list, right? Layer 0 and Monad, two of the undervalued projects on the list that have a lot more upside. But again, they're a bit further down on the risk curve, but they're way more safer. They're way more safer projects than buying, you know, meme coins or projects on lower, like micro or lower cap projects on Solana, right? So that is the narrative play sector that I, you know, have, and the projects that I selected. So like I said, it's up to you to diversify. Here you have $400 now, right? So this totals to $800 out of your $1,000. You do your own research and look into the projects, read their documentation, see what the project's doing, see how far they are getting with mass adoption, for example, right? See how far these projects are getting, see how they're performing against Bitcoin. Are they showing strength against Bitcoin? Are they up from their lows? Are, you know, how strong are they? And then you decide how you diversify that $400. You don't have to put it into all these altcoins. You could just put it into a few and spread the $400 out between the few that you select after you make your own research, right? I would think, you know, some of the better performers here would be Hype and Tau, clearly, because we see that in the charts. But then maybe you want to get some exposure to more lower cap projects like Virtual's Protocol, Layer 0, or Monad, right? Because you're like, okay, they may have more upside. So let me buy Hype and Tau, and then I'll toss in Layer 0 or Monad or Virtual, you know? Let me get some exposure to Tau and Chainlink, and let me get Fed as well, right? It's up to you to decide that. But again, all the projects listed here, I think, will do very well. Obviously, nothing is guaranteed, so manage your risk. Now we have the liquidity or speculative alt meme coins, right? The speculative plays. This is for the last $200 in the portfolio here for the $1,000. It's for the last $200 higher speculative plays, higher risk. but these projects are still in the top 50 or the top 100. First one we have is Pengu, which is Pudgy Penguins. This is a meme coin based off the Pudgy Penguins NFT collection. A lot of people love the Pudgy Penguins. They have toys in Walmart, video games. They have their own blockchain with abstract chain. And the founder, Luca Nex, is all over with his marketing, the New York Stock Exchange, different podcasts, massive, interviews on YouTube and X, etc. So it is one of the projects that I think has a lot of upside. It is higher risk because it's a meme coin, but it is a $408 million meme coin. So it's not as risky as like buying something on Pump Fund, which I'll get into at 50K market cap, right? So right now Pengu is at 2065. So a potential target for 10 cent per Pengu, 10 cent to 30 cents, 4 billion market cap, possible here. 10x move, 20x move, 10 billion market cap for Pengu, very possible. It is a 10 billion market cap for Pengu. Remember, in 2024, Pepe went to 11 billion market cap, 11 to 12 billion all-time high. So for Pengu to get to 12 billion market cap, from 400 million to 8 to 10 billion, that's a 20x move. That is very possible here, guys. As you can see, the chart is in this accumulation phase as well. So it's not making any new lows, right? So again, massive potential here, right? But again, higher risk because it's a meme coin. And the final project we're going to take a look at is Pump, or Pump Fund, the Pump Fund token. This one is not as strong. This one is way higher risk. You're betting on the speculation here that meme coins make a comeback. From what I see and everything I research and everything I look into in my crypto Twitter timeline, there's always people trading meme coins. I've seen a recent tweet where Pump Fund's DEX volume, because there is Pump Swap as well, where people could swap and there's liquidity there on the Pump Fund ecosystem. It's one of the leading DEX volumes from all the different chains, right? Uniswap and Aerodrome are its competitors, and that's Ethereum and Base Chain and a bunch of other EVM compatible chains, right? And Pump Swap is right up there. So if you're going to take a bet that memes come back and Zoomers, Gen Z, well, not Gen Z, Zoomers and Gen Alpha or millennials are going to be trading meme coins, and the meme coin casino is never going to die, the smartest thing to do is get some exposure to the Pump Fund token itself. Sitting at 2017 at $1 billion market cap. You could see a $10 billion market cap for this. 10x, 5x, 5 to 10 billion. Maybe even, like I said, a 10x, 20x, even more. It's possible, right? Remember, the space has degenerates. I'm guilty of being one too. So, between those two projects, you could toss in $100, in Pengu, $100 in Pump, diversify the two, or just pick one, right? $200 in Pengu or $200 in Pump, right? Or 115 Pengu and 15 Pump. That's really up to you to decide how you do the full breakdown of this portfolio. That is pretty much it, guys. How I would invest $1,000 in the crypto space if I was new to the space, or if I got wrecked and I was restarting my portfolio in a safe way, wanted to take it slow, one step at a time, one investment at a time, and compound my gains. Those are the projects I'd look into, and that's how I would go about it. If you found value in this video, guys, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Really appreciate all the support, and also become a Patreon as well to my Crypto Spaces Patreon page. It really helps the channel out. So I have a public Discord group that is free to join. Anyone can join the public group, and for $5 a month you could get access to the private Discord group. I recently helped out one of my subscribers, one of my patrons, Raj, in setting up how to set up his wallet to purchase projects on Base Chain right here. And I made an unlisted video for him, just personally for him, made it unlisted on YouTube so he could see how to set it up. And he's very delighted for that, guys. I'll give all praise and glory to the Lord God Jesus Christ, and I'll catch you in the next one.